Today, I want to take you on a little tour of the villages and cities surrounding my local area. One of the first villages I thought I'd show you is the village of Vernante, also known as Pinocchio Village, for its affiliation with the character and all its village walls being taken over by murals of the character and his life. Fernante has a population of around 1,300 people and sits at 785 meters above sea level. Honestly, it's quite a sleepy town and is best visited in the warmer months when you can cycle through it and some of the other small towns in the region. There's lots of great mountain tracks where then you can go through all these mountain villages. Fernante is especially cute for all its murals, but it also has an old fortress on the top of the hill and a beautiful church in the center. This is the northwest of Italy. Definitely a less popular area of the country, but also an economic powerhouse region of the country. My area is as far west of Italy as you can go before you hit France. But this mountainous area that borders France has a very small population once you go west of Turin, as they are all small mountain villages kind of cut off as the border roads to France largely close in winter due to being high mountain passes. As well, one of the tunnels that used to connect the two countries and also connect this region of Italy to its sea towns of Ventimiglia and Sanremo has been closed for at least 4 years at this point due to a landslide. This area of Italy experiences the cold, snowy winters, but often daytime temperatures still sit above 0 degrees. Maybe in January, February, they sit around 3 or 4 degrees. So it's not that cold. I wouldn't say it's normal to ever have max daytime temperatures below 0 degrees. And even still overnight, it generally sits at around -3. If it goes lower than -5, it's considered especially cold. And also considering this winter, we didn't really get any snow in the town centers, whereas the year before, we had many snowstorms where they come into the snow centers and you have to shovel snow off of your driveway. The summer months are beautiful with temperatures not really exceeding 30 degrees max daytime temps often. And also, you get the clear four seasons, so you see everything coming back to life in spring, and in autumn, you do get the beautiful orange leaves falling. is a train line that goes out to most of these villages. Fernante itself has a station, and the trains generally leave from the nearest city, which is a small city called Cuneo. Trains are like fairly reliable when they're not on strike, which is kind of often. So you'd be surprised how many people in Italy actually drive. Even in the cities, for example, like Turin and Milan, it's absolutely packed full of traffic. It's not like in some neighboring countries where you find the cities are kind of devoid of traffic. No, Turin like is absolutely full of traffic, and so is Cuneo and the surrounding cities in the area. And that's because once you start to get into these mountain villages, there is train stations, but there's not very frequently trains. The times can be quite inconvenient, and there's often train delays or disruptions or cancellations. So this village that we're in now is called Limone, and it is the end of Italy, I suppose, in this direction before you get to Tenda, and now you're on the French side. This is actually where the tunnel that I was talking about has been closed for at least 4 years. And this has really affected the village. As you can see, there's not anyone here really, and that's a contrast to what it used to be like, even in winter. In winter, it used to be packed also because it was a very popular ski resort for Italians, but also French, and specifically people from Monaco would come here to ski because when this tunnel is open, you can get from Limone to Mentone on the French side within maybe an hour 20 or something like this, maybe even less. And Limone has around like 52 kilometers of slopes available and 15 ski lifts. So it's a really well developed skiing area. But ever since the tunnel has closed, it means only really Italians can come here. And the nearest cities are quite far away, actually. So it's really kind of killed the area per se. So hopefully the tunnel will reopen soon. True to any small Italian village, they all have their own market day. The village market day in my town is on Thursday, so it's nice to ride your bike down to the center and go and buy all your goods separately, your vegetables, your meat, your bakery. It's all there. And then, of course, there's other things like clothes, handbags, whatever the local villages want to bring out to sell. And since these small villages aren't exactly bustling with activity and events, as you can probably imagine, the number one pastime in the area is outdoor activities like biking. In this town, I think everybody cycles. If the sun is out and it's above 4 degrees, you can be sure to see at least 10 people cycling during the day. Of course, in the summer months, it is just full of cyclists. So that's also what I tend to. So now let's go visit one of the biggest city in the region, which is Turin. The day that I went there to film this video wasn't exactly the best weather. So I think it's also good to put this in here because if I'm being realistic, Turin's weather is pretty bad for at least 5 months of the year. So I'm trying to not always show the beautiful sunny days because it is true that when you choose to live in the north of Italy, you do tend to get a lot of bad weather. So, in this northwestern region of Italy called Piedmont, the capital is Turin, and Turin also used to be the capital of all of Italy, actually. It's now not one of the most popular cities in Italy to travel by far, but it is becoming more popular with students and also those looking for work. I've mentioned in some of my previous videos that the north of Italy is a lot richer than the south, so a lot of people from the south move to the north in search of work, and Turin is one of those cities where people move in search of work. There's also a really highly renowned university in Turin, the Polytechnico, and that also brings in a lot of young people too, who then often stay and work in the city. It does have like some of the higher salaries in the country, as maybe the fourth, I would say, most popular choice for people coming to look for work. I'm filming this video in the start of March, and as you can see, the weather, this is, I would say, pretty standard weather from anywhere from November to March, or even April almost in Turin. They get a lot of gray skies and quite a lot of rain. Um, it's quite cold in the winter, but not freezing, so you just get this gray sky instead. Turin in the summer, actually, like around July, August, actually becomes like unbearably hot. Is one of those European cities, as there are many, where all you want to do in the middle of summer is escape. So then, of course, the nicest seasons in Turin are spring and autumn, where you get those beautiful long days and nice temperatures. So I will make sure to come back to Turin in late April, May to do some filming so I can show you what it looks like when there's lots of people outside and there's beautiful flowers and trees with leaves.